Crizzle, Big Mason.
SoCal tattoo, baby.
Yeah, Mason got some new tattoo. Motherfuckers all the time. Weirdo, man. Take the ring.
Slide it on one of them ham hocks.
So what are you getting done, Matt?
I had this dumb thing. I had a 666 right here. And since I've gotten past all that drama and bullshit from my past, Droops put some little cool design over it. We're going to finish it up. The thing about the hands is they suck. They always in and out of your pockets.
Especially on the knuckles,
yeah,
yeah.
the knuckles, they touch everything, they fall out. You got to do them again and again.
And then he wanted something covered on him also, which made it.
Yeah, it was cool. I had a 666. I want it gone. I removed a lot of that negative stuff I had in my history.
I bet you don't even get nervous anymore.
Oh, I'm not. Hey, bro, at my age, I do. They all hurt. They all
hurt,
suck.
right?
Oh my God, they hurt worse as you get older.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still get nervous a little bit.
People tell me which one hurt the most. They all hurt.
They all hurt.
They all
dog.
hurt.
Just different levels of what you can tolerate.
We were gonna finish what I'm doing on him, but it's right by his ass. He didn't want
Yeah,
to
we
put
were
his
gonna.
ass on.
We're working on my favorite childhood story when I was a kid was the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, where the Headless Horseman, and we put a little logo like right under the butt cheek. Right, that's the only spots I got left are like right in the crotch, and I'm talking like these thin spots underneath the cheeks. So he's working on a design. I didn't want my ass cheeks on camera.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
No,
Even though that one ain't gonna take that long, we're like almost done.
I know. I just don't want my cheeks, my cachetes on the camera.
No cachettes?
No cachettes, no yaks on the camera, boy.
No yakums?
No yakums.
So are both of you from the area?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm from the opposite side.
I'm from Bogota,
Sepulveda?
North Hills.
Sun Valley, Mission Hills, me.
Even though I did live in Mission Hills.
I love Mission Hills, bro. If I could afford it, I'd move back there right now. I love that area. You know they remodeled all of it. It's all like gentrified now. You got Starbucks on every corner over there now and shit. But think about how nice it would be to get up and walk to Holiday Burger every day. Holiday Burger, great location. Our next
Holiday
very
Burgers.
Bro, Holiday Burgers is shit.
I was telling Chris about it the other day.
Chris don't know about Holiday Burger.
No, you don't. I was telling him about it the other
And
day.
you get a full platter of French toast. I go there and get the French toast. Ooh.
I ain't never got no French toast
I
at
know.
Holiday Burger.
I have. Man, Tony's is right next to the bear pit. Great spots.
Seems like every neighborhood has that spot you got to go eat at. Like maybe after high school. I mean, after school, you'd go to this spot where, you'd get yourself your favorite burger or your.
Definitely.
Not in my neighborhood.
No.
You don't go in. You get the fuck off the street.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to agree.
Name one
Langdon,
spot that people go hang out.
Langdon Street really doesn't have much, but like,
No.
yeah.
You
But
gotta have that one taco spot or burger spot that
See,
you
right
go
there,
to.
it's just dumb to be on the street.
It's
Really?
dangerous.
Yeah.
It's really dangerous where Droopy grew up. Yeah.
Where-
I mean,
Not even for homies, for cops too.
Oh, really?
Mostly for cops.
Yeah.
Especially when they had the gang injunction.
yeah.
You could be doing absolutely nothing, and they see you going to jail.
Sepulveda is one of the roughest spots we got. Runs right through the center of the San Fernando Valley, I'd say. Holstroll, gangs, dope, all of that. Nothing but hotels. It's almost like Figueroa in South Central.
Gotcha.
But I
Yeah,
feel like you're
there's
right.
There's no store there.
I feel like you're right. Every hood
Has that
quote
spot.
unquote,
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
that spot.
But right there, there's not.
Yeah.
There's not. I'm not
Yeah.
just like talking shit. It really is not.
Hopefully later we'll go by the bear pit. That's where I'll take you. That, to me right there, that's one of my favorites. And then, again, it's on Sepulveda, on the opposite side right there.
You don't like the Hoggly Wogglies?
Come on,
that's
I love them.
That's right there by my
Hoggly
neighborhood.
Wogglies, see, now that's a spot in his hood right there.
It's
Yep.
not in my hood, but it's close.
On the outside of the hood, would you say? On the outside?
Down the street.
Yeah, that's a good barbecue spot.
It's just a Pogo Roscoe.
Yeah. Okay, now this is gonna suck. It's about to start. Man.
Matt.
Yeah.
So for people that have been under a rock, who is Matt?
Matt is, I guess, just an average kid who grew up in the San Fernando Valley in the late 80s, early 90s. I'm kind of like one of 4 or 5 white boys that grew up with almost all Mexicans. And middle class, found graffiti at a really young age. And as I get older, I find like that's more of my passion. Like it was more innocence. That like I can't even begin to tell you how amazing that was growing up in the 90s, early 90s when the graffiti hit the San Fernando Valley. Kind of like, it started out with like, I guess, expression, finding out who we were. Everybody had to have a name, a call sign. Some people had numbers. Graffiti crews were really prominent back in the day. You were allowed to be from like a few of them at one time. It was
Really?
yeah, graffiti crews could be from three, four, five if you want. It didn't matter because they were crews. They were just groups of guys with similar interests, and everybody was really back then. I want to say the art aspect, the piecing aspect hadn't really been that prominent. And back then, it was really just about getting your name up, getting it up as much as you can everywhere you could. And we were limited to supplies. Unlike today, a lot of these graffiti artists are very extremely lucky. The supplies are made, custom made for us. There's stores built around it.
Back
It's a
then
whole
you had to
industry.
steal 'em, right?
Yeah, back then we had to steal them. We had to make them. We had to combine mean streaks together. They're made like that now. We had to steal spray can tips for fatness or skinny. There was only like a glass cleaner or like an oven cleaner you'd buy at like the Dollar Trees or the industrial market stores that would have these tips we needed. Now they make the tips. There's a tip for whatever you want. There's colors. Man, we were limited to Krylon or Rust-Oleum.
Did you have a hard time getting them? Because I believe you needed to be 18, right?
So we learned how to steal when I was younger. We learned how to break the locks because as graffiti grew, the security systems in Home Depot, Target, Kmart, if you remember, if you're old enough to remember Kmart, places like there was like Osh. I think a lot of these construction stores we learned how to steal. I could get 6 cans around my waist when I was a kid with big ass Jenko or big ass Frisco Bend pants, and as we stole more, they learned how to protect the locking mechanisms, and we learned how to break the locks too. So it became a whole industry of stealing and graffiti. It became really fun. Nothing tops the adrenaline rush of, for example, walking along the 405 after midnight with a backpack and your homeboy getting your six, while I just do top to bottom letters. The size 6'1". Like I've always been pretty tall. So at my younger age, I was probably 5'11". So I'm 6'1" now. So maybe letters, just top to bottom letters of our width on the freeway. And walking the freeway, walking from getting on and on ramp, walking down and off ramp. We're talking sometimes a span of 2 miles in the middle of the night back then. And back then, we had to worry about cops. We had to worry about what we called heroes. In the 90s, we had some serious people that were so against graffiti, they would take the law into their own hands. They would either apprehend us, they would shoot us, they would fucking flag us down, they would flag down cops. We also back then had to worry about gangs. In the 90s, early 90s, gangs were not okay under any aspect of us being taggers. My opinion is, I think because when more of us are becoming taggers, the less of us are joining gangs. So their numbers are decreasing while our numbers are increasing. And
Crews are getting to the
yeah, and like my homeboy Droopy said, somewhere along in this process, a word came out from somewhere that we all had to join gangs, and now we're forced into joining gangs, and we're either A, becoming gangs ourselves, which means that crew becomes an actual gang, or B, we have to join local gangs and they allow us to become parts of their neighborhood. And I got caught up in a little bit of that myself, and it was a definite culture shock. The next step in the evolutionary process.
Did graffiti? What did it do? How did you get into it? Was it an escape for you, or it was a form of expression that felt?
I think I don't know. I found it by proxy because, like I said, I was one of the only white boys who grew up with all Mexicans. I went to a Catholic school in the city of San Fernando called San Fernando, and out of the whole school, mind you, I was probably 4 white kids. Now I kind of got involved in that culture a little bit more, just like my own, and after school, we're hanging out. These kids' brothers and sisters some of them are already in gangs. Some of them are already involved in graffiti. Graffiti grabbed me as, I guess it's in a form of expression. And for a kid who didn't really understand a lot and know what he wanted to do, my name affects one, getting that up and out there became such an amazing way to let everybody know, hey, I'm here. My name's Matt, and this is me, and I'm here.
Right. So was it a territorial? Was it ever a territorial thing?
I can't necessarily say. I mean, some crews were in areas, but we didn't have control of territories like neighborhoods did. They were the dominating force, and we had to navigate living in these hoods with these other neighborhoods. Right. We had to navigate living with them, amongst them, getting in and out of the hoods at night, doing graffiti. There was a lot of, I guess, like spy tactics, I would say. A lot of getting in and out, hiding, and kind of blending in without them knowing. Because as soon as we were on the radar for these neighborhoods, you either you're getting pressed to jump in and bring all your homeboys to get jumped in as well.
So there was that issue where, so you guys had to evade police, neighborhood gangs.
Oh my God! And heroes. Some of the times the heroes are the worst. Business owners. You look around today in society, and anywhere in LA County, through San Bernardino County, through probably the IE, through probably even Ventura County, graffiti's so cool. People will actually approach you to graffiti their stores and make it legal. At my age, I've been able to tap back into graffiti. I've been openly graffitiing like I'm 19 or 17 years old again. Nobody really cares, knock on wood, nobody really cares anymore about graffiti. It's really acceptable in society.
Gotcha. So introduce to us your artist here. Who
This
who
is
do
my
we got
brother
that-
Droopy, hometown legend from the Valley. He's had this shop. This shop just moved from another location up on Ventura Boulevard, and he's been tattooing for a really long time.
What up? What up? Yeah, we're trying to fix up Mohawk's hand here. He had some bullshit on his knuckles.
bullshit.
That we're covering with this weird little googly eyes. And it's a hard spot to work, and
It's a hard spot to get to.
and
trust
it's
me.
very painful.
Yes.
How long you been tattooing for now?
Like 17, 18 years professionally. Like 17, 18 years. And we've had this shop right here, SoCal Tattoo, for 12 years. And yeah, we've been on Ventura and Corbin for the last 12 years. We've only been here about 4 months. I've been trying to fix up a lot of stuff on Mohawk for a couple years now.
Yeah, going on like 3-4 years maybe.
I've turned into like his fix-it man.
Nice.
Well, good.
You know, when you come home from jail, I eventually did make my way into the prison system a little, just a tiny bit, and come home from jail with some stuff that when you get home, you're like, what? Number one, why the hell did I do that? Number two, that doesn't work out here in society. And number three, God, it's just horrible. Let's just fucking get rid of it. Not that there aren't good tattoo artists in jail. There's a gang of, I got a gang of homies, as I'm sure Droopy does, that are
It's
amazing
just like
artists.
out here. Sometimes there's good ones and sometimes
Yeah.
there's bad ones.
But when you deal with the quality of tattoo work on the streets, because of the supplies
It's
and the
way better
it's
out
way
here.
better. Yeah.
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 Of course.
Yeah.
So after graffiti, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned you went to jail, right?
I did the graffiti crew. Just to kind of summarize it real quick, the graffiti crew eventually got pressured to join the gang. I went with it because I didn't want to. I fell into peer pressure. Made a lot of good memories with some of my homeboys in the city of Sun Valley. I did the gang thing for a minute. I did go to jail. In jail, I stayed with the white boys because I am a white boy, and came home from jail. Was in the military after that. I served my country. Went in the Navy for a minute. That was fun. I did not want to leave the Navy. I ended up getting what's called an honorable medical discharge. I don't speak on it much because I know a lot of the guys that served and actually saw combat, I respect them, and they kind of look down on guys that didn't really fight. But like it or not, I am a veteran.
Well, things happen along the way,
Yeah.
and that was actually one of my questions: is how far do you think you would have gone with it if you would have stayed with the Navy, right?
Bro, man, I mean, I get choked up.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I watched Top Gun. Man, I'm getting goosebumps. All I wanted to do was be Maverick and fucking fly one of those, learn how to fly an F-15 or Jesus Christ, I could cry right now.
Yeah.
Me and my dad must have saw that movie 6 times in the theater when it came out. And I remember just
You
wanting
are
to be.
Maverick driving around in your
I know, I'm Maverick in my Jeep, huh? But all I wanted to do was be in the Navy. I mean, if you've ever been next to one of our country's ships, Jesus Christ, they're intimidating. They demand respect. They're massive. To understand the force of our military on the aspect of the U.S. Navy
Right.
is phenomenal. When I got near a ship, I was like, this is it. Now, mind you, I joined later. My plan was to join before graffiti turned into gangs. I got in some trouble, and as soon as I got in trouble, I used the Navy as, you know what, here's my chance, let's go.
Right,
I'm gone. I enlisted and I was gone. And I was a fireman. I was DC-2 on the SS Constellation that's now decommissioned, and it was an aircraft carrier. I mean, I got to see Africa on an aircraft carrier. I didn't stay long. I got about a year and a half in. I got honorable medically discharged because I get migraine headaches. I get them so bad that like I throw up and pass out. Yeah.
Matt, I mean, you got no canvas. I mean, your
Believe it or
canvas
not.
is completely covered up.
No, I've got some spots. I got those, a couple of them in the crotch area underneath. Like I said, I got one under the right butt cheek. Somebody's gonna have to do it. Probably be Droopy. We're gonna get real personal.
Droopy, are you down for that one?
Man.
Let's just say I owe him lunch afterwards.
Yeah, I've already worked on some spots on
He's
Mohawk
already,
that I'm
we've already
not
worked on the
too
butt
happy
cheeks.
about.
He was not happy about that. But he did it like a champ.
Yeah, actually I did. I tattooed his ass cheek.
Big old pumpkin. My whole left butt cheek's a big ass pumpkin. Thanks to Droop.
There you go, Droopy. So you're already there. You know him on a personal level.
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, to say the least.
I feel like he has to bill insurance hours for counseling too. Cause,
Is it that bad, Droopy?
yeah.
Every time he comes, he makes me work on some crazy shit like this, or his ass cheek, or something crazy that I don't want him to
Crazy
do.
part,
You
huh?
know?
But it's testing your skills, bringing your skills to light, brother.
Yeah.
So, Droopy, where's your family from?
My dad's from Sweden. Oh, he grew up here, but they're Swedish, and my mom's from Mexico. She's Mexican.
How was that for you growing up? I mean, you got
Yeah,
two.
it's a trip, man. It's a trip. Especially because I don't look like I'm Mexican. I only look white. So it always seems to become an issue some kind of way, you know? And as I got older and grew up, I just realized it is what it is. There's nothing I could do. You know what I mean? So what? You know, like, yeah, this is what it is. I am what I am. I'm not like ashamed of my white side. I'm not ashamed of my Mexican side. I'm proud. You know, I'm proud as fuck. And it just is what it is. But growing up, it wasn't always like that. You know, like I went through little stages growing up. And, like I was telling you about the elementary school, I went to kindergarten twice because of speech issues. And, you know, I speak Spanish and English, you hear me. But we spoke, when we were little, you know, just because of like the relatives we were living with and stuff, like we spoke Spanish a lot. So in kindergarten, here comes this little white kid speaking Spanish, and they didn't like it. You know, I'm old, like this was like the early 70s. And they told me not to be speaking Spanish. They told my mom to start speaking more English with me, like in the house. And it was a big issue, you know? And my mom's actually half Yaqui Indian. And so they tried to put me in this American Indian class, and my mom went down there and went off on him. Was like, man, he ain't no American Indian, what are you doing? And so when I was little, it made me be ashamed to be Mexican, you know? And if you would say you're Mexican, I'd be like, no, I'm not, you know? And just was like that for a while. Then as I started getting older, I started being ashamed to be white. And if you look at me, it's kind of hard to say I'm not white, you know? But I would fight you over it. Like, what? I ain't white. Don't call me white. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like I said, as I got older, I just realized it is what it is. It's not my fault. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
I'm not like.
It's kind of like my confusion when growing up, going to that elementary school. I was one of like 4 white boys in a whole private elementary school in San Fernando. There were times where I'm like, man, why am I different? I used to tell my mom too, why are my eyes not brown? I hated my blue eyes. I didn't realize none of it until I got older. It's just like Groupie said, it is what it is.
It got me girls.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it did get me some girls. It did get me a lot of girls. But you realize as you get older, so what? It is what it is. It's just how I grew up. And like I tell my story, like I'm a white boy that grew up with Mexicans. I don't give a fuck what no one says. I love it because I got some cool style. I got some culture. I got the best of both worlds right there. I mean, for me, I didn't know any different.
Right.
For me, it was like I loved it. I grew up like I always knew I was white. After like you realize going through elementary school, you realize your parents tell you. And I was adopted, mind you. I had really good parents that adopted me from like right out of the vagina. My parents wanted me. They loved me. So to me, I didn't know any different. It was a great time. Look, I tell this so many times. I can't say this enough. Growing up in the 80s and the 90s, in that era with music, fashion, lowriding culture, graffiti, when graffiti was innocent, I feel like anyone else who missed those times, man, you missed out on some amazing times. Today, I can't relate to what goes on today. In fact, lately I've been saying these kids today and all this weird old guy shit, but like, man, the 80s and 90s, man, they're just an amazing time. And growing up like that amidst between two cultures, for me it's how the Valley is. If you grew up in the San Fernando Valley, it's white and Mexican together. And that's just how we grew up. Low riding culture, graffiti, white boys, bikers, essays. It's just how we were. And we were all together.
That's pretty much how the 90s was all across. I mean, it was, LA is not too far from here, but this is, still LA County.
Yeah.
But the subculture was big in the 90s,
huge,
it was
dude.
big.
Yeah.
Music was good.
Music was amazing back
Right.
then. Remember backyard parties to pass out the flyers through Howard High School on Friday night, or Saturday, you knew whose house you were going to? Man, those DJs, that shit was great times,
missed the
dude.
90s.
Man, I missed that shit,
No,
bro.
I missed the 90s.
Oh, yeah, he was in the joint in the 90s, yeah.
I didn't see
You
one
literally
day of
missed
the
it, huh?
90s. Yeah,
Literally missed it, yeah.
Missed the
That's
whole
crazy.
90s.
Those are some of the best times I have, man.
No technology at that time. I mean,
We weren't consumed with cell phones, man. We were living for the minute. We were out on the streets making memories. Remember we had those, let
I
me see
remember
it.
beepers. When I went to jail,
I had a
a
beepers were cool.
beeper.
I'll get it back to you when I can. And then we had those disposable cameras. You go get them at like Rite Aid or before Rite Aid was Thrifties.
Polaroids.
Polaroids. You'd have to develop your film, and we'd have stacks of memories, photo albums, man. Yeah.
It's the worst when you do a badass tattoo and then you take a picture of it and it doesn't look.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't do it no justice.
Yeah.
It's the same thing for books with me too. Like when it comes to film, I still read a lot of books. I can't do them on the phone. I can't do the Kindle.
Yeah.
I like to read books. I still
Right.
read, and I like to collect the books. Same thing
don't
with
have time to read.
with a photograph. Having that actual photograph printed out, man, it means a lot. It's a big thing.
Yeah. Yeah, 90s was fun, man. I remember having a beeper, paying,
Paying for service each month, huh?
Yeah.
Remember the little codes we would use for "I love you,"
911,
143, 911, 811. If it was almost an emergency, not enough an emergency.
I only knew the 911. I only knew the 911.
You're the type of dude 911
Because I
everything,
went to jail like right after
Oh,
they
okay.
came out,
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember in the late 90s, we had one friend. He was the only one with the cell phone.
Yeah, we always had, every group had that one guy.
That one guy
I
with
had
the
one
cell
guy
phone,
too.
right?
Always had, it was the big one, the brick. Remember the bricks at first?
Yeah.
And then they went to the Nokias,
Yeah.
where they were pretty decent, bigger than like an iPhone. So I had that friend too, yeah. Always up on the technology.
So 90s was fun. I'm telling you, music, fashion.
Yeah.
I mean, some stuff makes full circle, but that's nothing like the feeling that you had back then because it was just original. It wasn't for the gram.
No, we were living sometimes an hour at a time, making memories, being on the streets. Like I remember growing up, I would leave the house on the weekends after morning cartoons. I'm out till the sun comes down, and you just know, when the streetlights are coming on, your ass needs to get home. I just remember those feelings of being on the streets all day with my
Streetlights
friends.
come on.
Streetlights come on, yeah. Better hightail it home, or you in trouble.
Right, on the bikes.
On the bikes, I had a skateboard.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
traveling around.
Yeah, we all had the chrome bikes.
Yeah,
That one.
I think
Diamondback was the
Diamondback,
shit.
yeah.
I finally graduated. I had a GT, and then I had a Mongoose. So and now those bikes are sold at Walmart like they're nothing.
Yeah.
But in my day, that was a status symbol.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you had a Powell Peralta or a Steve Caballero skateboard, like one of my last skateboards, I think was a Steve Salva. And I think if you, depending on the skateboard or the bike you had, you were somebody in the neighborhood.
We used to get all kinds of bikes from base heads. They come fucking
No sh-
pluck it to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I had this, we'd work on, we all wanted the Diamondback, you
Yeah.
know? That was the shit.
Got rid of some crap that was under here. I think I had a 666 or something dumb when I was young and angry and blaming the world for my bullshit.
For your own mistakes.
Yeah. Oh. I can put the shirt on.
So Solon, what is that?
Solon is an art collective community. We take artwork from around the world, from artists all over, from here to Russia, and we put it on clothing. My brother, Uncle Jeremy, and his partner, my other friend, Color Crimes, designed it and kicked it off. It's a great art collective. If you're an artist, submit some artwork to me, to any of us, and we like to get it on clothing.
So you model for them?
I model for them. I run one of the pages myself. I help out with the main page. I do conventions. I do sales. I'm a sales rep. I do recruiting. I'm like a jack of all trades with them.
So you went from the streets to the Navy. Now, did you ever think you were going to be modeling?
No, I didn't. But this company is part of the reason I got sober. I ended up getting sober when I was at my bottom, my worst. My mom knew that I loved this company. They were out before I even got sober, and she would bring me every Friday a bag of t-shirts, hats, socks. Be like, come on, you can, babe, make it till next Friday. So for like 9 months, my mom would drop bags of this clothing off, make it to next Friday, and every Friday I'd get to the next Friday, and then every Friday, and then when I got to 9 months, she gave me my last bag, and she said, now go get me something. And I was able to just turn the 9 months into a year, and then a year into 5.5 years I got now. I love drooping, but my damn hand is all swollen now. I got to drive with it. Yeah.
So where are we headed to now?
Now we'll head to the old area where I grew up.
So it's interesting. You were talking about
Wait, you want this up for the audio? Put it up. Later, Droop.
It's up to you. Yeah, it's up to you.
Wait, hold on. Hold on.
Yep.
Droop, I forgot to give you this before I left. Is that from all of you? Eso. All right.
So what city we in? We were in
I think we're in Tarzana.
Tarzana.
Yeah, this is the west side of the valley. I grew up in the I want to say northeast
Okay.
side.
Yeah. So you were in. We were talking about that earlier. You actually were into sports, right? You've pretty much done it all. Skateboarding.
Yes.
You like graffiti.
Skateboarding, I should have stuck more to. But like growing up, where I grew up between like the cities of Mission Hills, Arleta, Panorama City, I used to get made fun of for skateboarding. That was like the one white side of my life growing up with almost all Mexicans. I'd get made fun of for skateboarding, and I used to get my skateboard took. My parents got tired of replacing my skateboard.
You know,
Back in the 90s, it was expensive.
the funny part is a lot of and I don't know if you can relate, but you're in San Fernando Valley. I grew up in the San Gabriel Valley.
Yeah.
And the crazy part is that skating was actually big in the Hispanic community, and this is the sad part. A lot of the people that used to skateboard before actually became gang members.
Well, and it's bigger now in that community. And it's funny because I think the San Fernando Valley and the San Gabriel Valley were almost exactly the same in our culture and lifestyles.
Yeah.
We're just in different parts of LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, on two different sides.
Yeah.
But like a lot of those guys, a lot of my homeboys who skateboarded, they became gang members. All of them transitioned into that lifestyle.
Yeah. So that was so it wasn't something that not in our side at least where they would make fun of you. It was more it was part of the culture down there,
But I
People
think
like skateboarding.
for me growing up with getting more involved with graffiti that was slowly evolving into gangs,
Right.
that's why it was more like, fuck skateboarding.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? That's why it was frowned upon.
Gotcha. So you got it. So you were talking about earlier. You got into soccer.
Oh man.
Soccer, right? And
I
then-
played soccer since I was a kid. My dad had me and my brother. My dad coached me and my brother in AYSO in Granada Hills. Coached both of our soccer teams. My brother was amazing. I think he was supposed to play professional for the LA Lasers when they were the Lasers. And he broke his ankle. And then I played. I was pretty damn good myself. I played center or right forward. Also transitioning into baseball. Baseball was more my thing than soccer. I love baseball. Probably could have gone a lot farther with it, but I chose to try crack cocaine one beautiful night in the 90s in the city of Arleta.
So you had baseball, you had basketball, skateboarding. You had a lot of things going on. So you threw it away for drugs.
Drugs. When I tried drugs, I didn't. So now, mind you, I always stayed away from drugs growing up.
Right.
I didn't try drugs. I didn't try anything until crack cocaine. Now, when you go from doing nothing, not even a beer, not even marijuana, not even a cigarette, and you all of a sudden jump to crack cocaine, it was a motherfucker. It was an immediate fucking life changer. And it was not good. Speaking of that, yeah, right there.
Yeah.
That's what it turns your life into.
It's sad.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, drugs consumed me at that moment. It was just crack cocaine is not one of those drugs that you get to have a lot of really fun nights with. For me, I mean, doing crack cocaine, it was just in about a matter of 3 days to a week, your life is fucked. And that's driving the car. I go from being a pretty decent gang member, selling drugs, having a couple cars and a drug dealing business on the side, gone. Within a matter of days, a week tops, your life starts to spiral down.
How did that feel for your first time that you tried it?
It was amazing. Trying it was amazing. It's a feeling you can't ever replace.
Wow.
It was
It's a bold statement.
it was pretty intense. That first hit of crack cocaine is pretty intense, yeah.
Did you let that set in, and was it long before you tried it again, or you got into it again?
No, I mean, it was immediate. It was consistently from that first night. It was that good to where we're seeking it out. That's how bad I try to tell people addiction is. Cocaine, crack. It was constant from that first time. Within, like I said, within 3 days to a week, everything I have has to be traded or sold. And then, mind you, I'm still trying to maintain some sort of a normal gang, drug dealing, and normal life. I had a job. I was working at Walmart. I was selling drugs. I was gangbanging, and all these things come crashing to a halt. You go from having a pretty good reputation in your hood, in society, to nothing. Like, you become not reliable. You become not trustworthy. Your hygiene is failing. You start to look and act retarded. You're doing all kinds of just foul things. You're stealing and robbing anybody. Everybody could be a victim for me at that point.
So, morals and anything that you've been taught.
My homeboy used to tell me my mañas were fucked up. I had horrible morals back then. Everything
goes out the window.
Everything goes out the window. At that moment, crack cocaine drove the car. Everything was about revolving around getting more crack cocaine. And I would smoke on the streets till I was sick, almost having heart attacks. I would be barefoot. I would go so long, weeks at a time, before I even came home. I had traded my shoes, my jewelry. I would loan my car to the drug dealers. It was horrible. Calling my mother to pick me up and rescue me, it was horrible. And then I was such a piece of shit, and I share this so people understand how serious it is. I would convince my mom to buy me crack cocaine just to get in the car so she could get me home. Yeah. Horrible. What's wrong with me?
How long was that stretch for?
Fuck yeah, a few years. Yeah. Took a few years, yeah.
Are you feeling any after effects now?
No, because I made the bad mistake to get off of crack cocaine, I listened to one of my buddies to get me on methamphetamine. That's a whole other mountain of a ride right there. Methamphetamine, going in and out of prison with that, and then methamphetamine turned into meth and heroin. I got to start doing heroin to calm me down from being awake for too long, being bizarre and paranoid on meth. That's a whole nother ball of worms from cocaine.
How long have you been off now?
I've been sober for like 5.5 years. Yeah.
Anybody struggling with it, I mean, what would you say? I mean, I know, and I've heard that they have to want it themselves, right?
The sad reality, I'm here for you. I answer all my direct messages. I sponsor people. I can help you get to the program. I can help you get in treatment. But the harsh reality is, you're not going to get sober until you're ready. I didn't get sober until I was spiritually, physically, and mentally broke. I had to be just my ass kicked, exhausted with it. There was nothing more coming from it at that point. And I had to be ready to say, whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. Just, I don't want to be like this anymore.
Man, to see you now, man, I see that you've came a long way, and I commend you for that.
Thank you, bro. It's a lot of work. It's consistent work, too. It's not just something you do like once a week. It's sometimes by the hour.
Any message that might have stuck with you, with somebody trying to help you out? Something that you maybe... I know all morals went out the window, but there had to have been something that stuck with you that wanted to trigger something in you that wanted to change. Is there anything that's maybe stuck with you?
I just know that they say this, it's like a cliche phrase, one day at a time. I used to say 1 hour at a time. When I was struggling, I'd have to reach out and talk to people by the hour.
Gotcha.
Because when those urges come on, if you don't have enough spiritual tools in your toolbox, you will fall. You will. Sometimes, in the beginning of addiction, when you're getting sober, I remember relapsing and failing. I would be triggered to go get high. I wouldn't, because I didn't understand my addiction. I hadn't done the work the first few times I was trying. And I remember, before I even knew what I was doing, being like a zombie, so to speak, I would be already at the connection's house getting dope with a needle in my arm before I even realized. And then when I realized it, I'm like, wow, I'm already loaded. It's too late. So you have to have some defenses planned and worked on to where when these thoughts come, you have to know how to fight them.
So talking about tattoos, you had so you what did you have on your neck? What did you say you
I
had?
had a big 666, and I had I had been working with my boy Los from Servants. Love you, Los. We talk a lot, and he prays with me sometimes. And
Real good guy, I know.
Real good guy. Love
yeah.
that whole group of people. Servants is a great group. I made an appointment with my boy Chris over here in Van Nuys to cover it up. Man, I can't even. I'm trying to find an entrance here. When they did that tattoo, and my homeboy Chris was done, he put the machine down after covering that 666 with the big rose. I can't even begin to tell you, but I literally felt something pushed me. I felt like that negative energy leave me at that moment, literally. And he set that machine down, and he looked at me, and I was like, bro, like it's gone. I feel it. And I have to thank Los for that, because Los helped me orchestrate that whole thing. And it was just an amazing moment for myself in getting that gone. I don't even, I get choked up when I talk about it, but like you could feel it, the energy leave me.
Yeah.
And all those years of me wanting to blame you and blame everybody for my choices were gone. It was great. And it came through redemption in the form of a tattoo as well, which you never thought you would get. This is Sepulveda. Everything from our whole stroll to a lot of hoods. There's about 3 different warring neighborhoods around here. You got Columbus Street up there, Langdon over here, little TJ Locos back there. You got MS right here in this area. There's Vincenttown right down the block. We got Blythe Street up there. Haskell Locos behind us. This is kind of like Central Valley, the Sepulveda area. This is one of the roughest areas in the valley next to Pacoima. But most of us in my little growing up group, this is the street we grew up off. They sell crack right here like 1990. Like they're slanging rocks like it never stopped back in the day. It's amazing.
Right.
I'm talking rain or shine, they're serving.
What's this guy doing right here?
There's a lot of this mentally unstable homeless stuff too around here. He's running a road, but he's stable. He's middle of the street.
You made it.
See, this is nothing but hotels and strip clubs. It's over the road.
We're not that far from LA either.
No, I want to say we're like 30 minutes away from LA, from the LA area.
Yeah.
It's funny because the Valley is part of Los Angeles County, but we're always like, no, we ain't LA, homie, we're Valley.
Yeah.
I got in a lot of trouble. This is where I spent many nights walking around barefoot. From here on to from here to the next 2 lights was the area where I was strung out. Crack cocaine dominated this area throughout the 90s. Dominated my life, dominated so many gang members, graffiti artists, ruined so many lives. It's funny because sometimes driving through here, I still have to take a shit. That feeling of getting high still hits me.
It brings you back to those emotions and feelings that you had
Well,
back
because
then.
getting off the freeway at Nordhoff up here is where I would always come to buy drugs, and it was a sick stomach feeling, anticipation, trying to get high.
Right.
Now that I'm sober, I don't get it that often, but every now and then I'm kind of reminded. It's almost like it's a subtle check and a reminder of, hey, motherfucker, remember how far you've come.
Right.
Be careful around here, because let me tell you something. I might be sober and worked hard to change my life, but when it comes to crime, the gangs, drugs, they're still here. They haven't changed. They're still here. So I gotta constantly remind myself, hey, remember how far you've come, dog. You don't want to be back here. It's cool to slide by and say hi and what's up and all that stuff, but I don't want to be back here again.
Are you still able to find some of your friends?
Yeah, I touch
here?
base. I get all my rims and tires right there. I touch base with a lot of my homeboys. But I'm also aware of how long I can stay, what I can do, what I should say and not say. And you gotta be careful, because like a lot of people, they think because I'm doing what I'm doing, like it's a free ride to, hey, let me get some free merchandise. And it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't.
There's a lot of fucking hands out wanting free shit, but it's not like that. You know, companies make clothing and stuff to make money. They're not a charity business.
Yeah. How would you react if somebody reached out to you and said, you know what, help me out?
I got you. How can I help?
Nice.
Immediately, how can I help? If anybody needs help, you can reach out. That's the only way I can stay sober. I can only stay sober if I help you. If I'm selfish and keep it to myself, it's not going to work that way. Yeah, it's a good spot. This used to be a Boss Big Boy next door. Man, it's a great spot. Crazy because it's still got my graffiti right here.
Does it?
Still. That's me at Fence. Bet you there's stickers. There's stickers all up around here too. Yup. We got stickers. Yeah, this place, I used to come here with my dad. This is like the best Missouri barbecue I've ever had. And like we were saying, every neighborhood has that place. This is one of them for us in the valley. We would come here on the weekends after soccer or baseball. They used to have sand and sawdust all over the floor. It's such a, we'd sit on the patio. Man, it's such great for summer. Even growing up, we'd be right here off the boulevard. This was a Boss Big Boy. There was always burgers and shit here. COVID kind of affected all this, but I'm glad it's still here and it's still open for business. But again, it's off the boulevard. And this was our bus routes growing up. Graffiti crews. I mean, there'd be 20, 30 kids right here waiting on bus benches, all different graffiti artists, crews. Mission Hills became like kind of like one of the central areas in the valley for graffiti, branching off into like Panama City, San Fernando, Silmar, big areas for graffiti. And there was, I don't know, maybe 50, 60 different crews in the valley that enmeshed into Los Angeles culture. And the drive right here splits off into Brandon and San Fernando, where I went to elementary school. We used to sneak in here and steal pornos when I was a kid.
This liquor store?
Yeah, liquor store here. Cool ass Korean dude, I think. We steal it, come in here and steal pornos. It's crazy.
Is it still the same guy that owns it?
I don't know. Okay, what the? Got all these stickers made. Makes graffiti easy. Oh God! See, now here's a trick. You got to find a room where you don't go over somebody else. I thought I saw it, but no. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to reach that.
Yeah.
Got it on this side. Try to put you can get t-shirts in here.
I've been off soda. I've been drinking sparkling waters because it kicked my soda habit, but I feel like having Coke.
Soda's bad for you.
It is, but I'm gonna have one now. Cherry Coke's my downfall.
That's your downfall.
Yeah, Cherry Coke.
So it's still the same one?
No, it used to be over here.
Goodies.
It used to have this. It used to be right here, huh?
So was this your go-to spot right here?
This was my go-to spot right here. Growing up down that alley, we'd be coming here for everything. Sodas, drinks, to whatever. There used to be a payphone on that wall. We'd sit there and call all of our friends. My boy lived right across the street right there. We'd meet up at any time to go tagging, to hit the streets, to hit the buses at any moment.
So tell us about this park right here.
This park was epicenter for everything of me growing up. Everything. We all met here. We all would party here. We would all, right by the rock right there that says Devonwood, we would all hang out here. This was just being developed when I was a kid too, so there was not, a lot of this wasn't here. These are spreading grounds. We would run through here and like the water, this is like the drain off for the water when storms hit and stuff.
Would you say it's still safe to go in there? Or?
Yeah. Maybe, I mean, you don't really want to physically go in the spreading ground. This has never been that bad of an area. This has always been like semi-decent area.
Gotcha. Hey man, we're at this park right here. It's close to where you used to live, right across the street?
I lived right back that way on a street called Blackhawk. That's where I grew up. This park was like the meeting ground. Crews would have meetings here, barbecues. We'd have fights here. We'd have organized sit-downs here. Anything to do with starting trouble, ending trouble, sometimes just get-togethers to figure out plan of action. We'd meet here in the middle of the night. In the middle of the night, there would be we'd meet here to plan our graffiti going out into the night. And here's my house.
How long ago was this that you lived here?
Fuck, I've been gone since '98. The window to the left behind the bush, man, there were so many bullets used to go through. I got shot at. Enemy shot at this house. Fucking other tagging crews graffitied all over the house after my parents remodeled it. So cool. They remodeled. My parents took a lot of pride after the earthquake, the '93 earthquake, and remodeled that whole place. Those people are still there, I think, from what I remember. They're still there. I don't know any of these people.
How do you feel coming back?
I feel good. I always feel good coming here, though.
Yeah.
I always do. Yeah. I always do.
Does it bring back any bad memories or anything like that?
Well, there are memories of, like, you know, my house got shot up. That was kind of traumatizing for my whole family. But one of the bullets hit right above my mom's headboard. Almost. Yeah,
Oh, man.
Almost. If she would have moved in it, she could have killed her. The graffiti on my parents' home.
Yeah.
That's horrible. And that was my fault. All my fault. Yeah.
So what do you got going on nowadays, Matt? I know you mentioned acting and you want
I'm trying to get into acting. I'm trying to do some creative, what's it called, technical advisory stuff for the movies. I do a lot of social media, a lot of modeling, a lot of advertising, a lot of social marketing, social media managing. I run a few accounts for people. That stuff's actually a pain in the ass. People don't realize how much of a pain in the ass social media marketing and managing is, you know?
Right.
Very time consuming.
What type of movies would you want to do?
I mean, gangster shit. The way I look, I can only probably go into one aspect, but I'm cool with that. I like that. I've done a few videos. I did a YG video, 2 YG videos. I did a Conejo video. Shout out to Conejo. I love Conejo. I got a reality show that we did to film the pilot. Me and Conejo filmed the pilot for a tattoo reality show that we're waiting to see if it's going to get dropped soon. If that gets picked up, then I'll be the host of a tattoo reality show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see you maybe in an action movie, man.
Shit, maybe the next Rock.
Something, man. You
Yeah.
never know.
They do this shit out here all the time.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So where are we at right now? This is
818 Art. This is the best graffiti store ever, and these are my friends.
it's a cool piece.
Yeah. What's up, bro? Is our other homie here? Oh, there's okay. Oh, thanks. Mohawk Matt.
Yeah, I'm Danny. I'm Poise. I'm friends on Instagram. I rap with you. I read this right here.
Oh, no shit. You're friends. Yeah, we're friends on Instagram. Right on.
Yeah.
Oh, pleasure to meet you, brother.
too,
Right
man.
on, yeah.
Good to see
Right
you,
on.
man. Yeah, man.
Right on.
Right. Look, if you get bored to you, get up in the book.
It's funny. I brought a sticker too.
Yeah, put it on the video, man.
I'm gonna catch a hit up in his book. That's kind of too fat.
I'm glad. It's good. Draw, read, play. You don't need to be on the TV and the iPad. Dude, I'm only in the book. Have a good day.
You write too? What do you write?
I don't. I do tattoos.
Oh, where do you tattoo at?
Canova Park.
I work for Selling Clothing.
I have a lot of shirts from Southern, bro.
What shop you work at?
I have a private studio, Canova Park.
Are you with Weddle and Young Chavo?
No. One of them did my tattoos, but
Yeah, Chavo did my back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I tattoo clothes to Shermanway and I have a
Oh,
private
right on.
studio.
Well, what's up, brother? I'm Mohawk. Pleasure to meet you, dog.
I'm Pizza Ron's friend.
Oh, you Pizza Rolls? He's gonna be at our shop, SoCal, where we just left on Friday.
Oh, you guys have an event or something?
No, he's guest spotting at SoCal Tattoos. They're right there on Reseda and Oxnard now. They moved locations. Okay, so what are we gonna get today? I want 2 of these little ones. I fucking love these ones, dog.
I love those things.
Oh
too.
my god, I take them out everywhere.
Everywhere, right?
Mom, have you heard of Flox?
Nah. What is
The
that?
great lettering artist. Look him up on Instagram. Flox32G. Man, he brings these to the convention and does signs and shit with them. Fucking amazing, yeah. Yeah, let me get 2 of them. And then, what's your favorite color?
Like this turquoise blue, like a
Turquoise
neon
blue?
blue.
We have.
This color right here is sick. This one's pretty sick too.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, or that one.
Do we have that one? No. Or maybe in the small one. Let me have the blue in the small one. That's the clicker one, huh?
This one?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never used it.
No, is that OTR has their own fucking. OTR has their own fucking marker?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Wow.
Yeah, they got all this shit like all this. Like,
OTR is one of the oldest crews.
all these-
They've been around for a long time. Old timers rule. Okay, let me get that. Let me get the blue. That one? Yeah, that blue. And then one of those blue ones. No, let me support OTR too. Let me get this big blue OTR one.
This one?
Yeah. This is sick. Well, I love how they drip when you ride with them.
Dude, hit up them beer.
Gotcha. How much is it? Yeah. Slapping stickers and I bumped into that dude Atomic out there.
Right down. I'm just gonna lock the
Okay,
door real
sounds good.
quick.
It's funny, I packed a lunch. I always pack a lunch when I go out. I'm so sick of buying food out.
That's good.
This place is so dope, bro. Hey, can I write? Hey, can I write around the side of the mural?
No, Matt, what do you say? What do you tell people that say, you know what, that's vandalism, that's not art? Because you're gonna, you get. I'm pretty sure you get that a lot.
I think it's just, it is art. It is expression. Whether you're doing this type of stuff, artwork, whether you're doing letters, piecing, it's our expression. It's a certain type of expression, and it's our way of acting. It's our way of getting our name out there, and our way of being remembered, leaving our name in history.
Right. All right, Matt. So we just left the shop right now. That was a pretty cool shop. I never knew they had a graffiti shop. Like I'm new to that world. But for them to actually have a shop, that's pretty cool.
It's new to me too. I mean, like I said, growing up, we didn't have none of that, access to none of that. I think it's actually pretty good that these kids have access to that stuff, so they can build their skill and build their lifestyle better than I did.
And other things can come from it too, right? Like they can.
Well, a lot of these guys, they don't realize graffiti's where it begins. You have huge tattoo, promising art career, painting careers, design careers, graphic design. There's so many options when you have access to the right supplies.
Yeah.
And this store gives them that. Now, yes, we all know graffiti caused a little bit of damage and vandalism in the city, but today's world it's not that bad. It's more accepted, and a lot of these companies are not really tripping on it. So it's good that these kids have access to that stuff. And it's good for us old timers that want to touch back into what was pure and passionate about our growing up days.
Yeah.
For me especially, I miss those days so much. And it's, some guys get motorcycles as they grow older and go into midlife crisis. I go back to spray paint and mean streaks. It's a win-win.
Nice. Yeah, no, it was pretty cool to see that. And there was a guy in there. What do you say? He was a tattooist or something like that.
He's a tattoo artist, yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't necessarily mean these guys are out, just doing
No, not at all.
knucklehead stuff.
Yeah. There's all kinds of good positives with
that
it.
come from it. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Well, I appreciate you sharing, your day with us, man. Getting a little insight in where you come from and what you're about. Your struggle with drugs. Any message? I mean, you got for people struggling with drugs, looking for a way out, maybe a form of art that can help them out.
Well, you definitely got to find something to take up your time. For me, it was a mixture of graffiti and working out
and reading books. I read a lot of books, but I can honestly tell you, if you're having trouble with it, just reach out. You got to talk to somebody. There's a lot of us who've been through the same things you have, probably worse or even less, but either way, we can all help each other. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. I'm one of the ones that if you get at me, I will answer your message.
Very cool. What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is MohawkMatt_SFV. I have a Facebook. It's Matt Camerano, but I keep that kind of personal. I think I have a TikTok. It's the same as my Instagram. I don't really know how to use it though.
And they can reach you out on there if they have any questions.
I recommend Instagram. If I'm on Instagram, I will respond back to you. I make it a point because it's always good to answer people that need some help.